Welcome to the Faroe Islands. We're here for 5 days to explore these beautiful landscapes, the unique culture, and of course, the Puffins. Come with us.
Found our car for the week, and it is the spiciest thing ever. I love it. There are 3 pedals down here.
When was the last time you drove a manual?
Like 2 months ago. This will be fine. It's just spicy. The car got spicier, is my point.
Made it to our hotel. How cool is the turf roofed buildings? I can't get over it. Here's a quick room tour of our room at the Hilton Garden Inn in Tórshavn in the capital of the Faroe Islands. We have separate toilet and shower, and then the sink is right there. We have a nice big bed. I really like this like modern Scandinavian vibes they got going on. And the green, very fitting with the Faroe Islands. Nice couch. We have Smeg, fridge, and kettle, very fancy. And we have Thomas hiding in the corner, a classic of any of our room tours if you follow me on Instagram. After we were settled in, we took a tour of the capital city, Tórshavn, with the local guide. We learned about the traditional grass roofs, which used to be a necessity because of the scarcity of resources on the island, and now are just a symbol of Faroese culture that many homeowners choose to keep. We also learned that the national sport of the Faroe Islands is rowing, and we saw a few teams practicing in the harbor. However, they're not the same boats that they use at the Olympics. And lastly, we were surprised to find out that the country's top industry is not tourism at all, but instead salmon farming. So we just finished up our walking tour, ended up being a private tour since nobody else joined, and now we are headed to a local couple's house for dinner. It's a custom here in the Faroe Islands that you can dine with locals all across the country. So we are off. It's only about a 10 to 15 minute drive from the main city center, so not too far outside of town.
It really is just like green Svalbard, you know?
Exactly, like truly though, these mountains are just like Svalbard's geography.
But they're green.
But they're green.
Well, we just wrapped up our first night of our Faroe Islands adventure. We had dinner at a local's house. There was a group of like 10 people. We were served a 4-course meal that included a very delicious course of lamb heart with mashed potatoes. And then we wrapped that up with a rhubarb granola cream type dessert that was also very good. So that was a really fun evening. It was overlooking some absolutely beautiful scenery of the islands that we could see across the channel. And now it's bedtime because we have a bright and early day tomorrow. And I will give you one hint for what our plans are. Good morning from day 2. So we got up early and then drove all the way back to the west end of the islands, and we are not done because we are now going to take a ferry to Mykines.
Probably butchered that pronunciation.
I'm sure we did. Mykines, it might be known better as the one with all the puffins.
I'm so excited. I can't wait. I've never seen puffins, so this is gonna be super, super exciting. It's pretty much the reason we came to the Faroe Islands in the first place.
Jackie is prepared for it to be much colder than it actually is.
It's always colder out on the water.
That's true.
In case of an emergency, you will find the life vests on the deck.
Woo! It's choppy.
Oh, it is wavy.
I fell trying to get back to my seat on the ferry because it's rocking so much. So lesson learned, just stay seated on the ferry.
We took a detour through this little cove, absolutely filled with seabirds, which included a lot of puffins. For a second I thought we were just pulling into another cove to look at some seabirds, but nope. This is the dock. This is where you get off the ferry at Mykines.
Nothing Thomas loves more than a waterfall.
Oh yeah, I think I live here now. So what do you say the population of this village was?
8.
Okay. 9 once I moved here.
Hey.
10? You're coming too?
You gonna leave me?
No. Quite the hike to get up here to the Puffins.
Gotta earn it.
We still got a ways to go. Mykines is one of the most remote islands of the Faroes. The ferry that we took to get here actually only runs during the summer months. So during the winter, the only way to get to the other islands is a helicopter. And there are times where the helicopter can't run because it's too foggy, because it's too windy or foggy or something like that. So we might go a week at a time with no way to get to or from the mainland. So we've also learned that we've just thoroughly been butchering the pronunciation of this island. It's not Mykines. 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 Hello. 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 Yes, scratch yourself like a dog. Oh, that's a good puffin. You're so cute.
My eyes are watering up and I can't tell if it's because of the wind or if it's because I'm so happy to see these puffins.
The one is all tucked in.
Oh, he's taking a nap.
So you're not hearing cows, that is the sound that the puffins are making. It sounds like they're mooing. Landing. Good job.
I'm so sad that we have to walk back now. I could have stayed there all day staring at those puffins. We need to go explore more islands around the world that have puffins.
We were lucky. There were so many puffins out on the cliff today. Sometimes there are a lot less. It just depends on whether they want to be out in the ocean fishing or back in their burrow. So your mileage may vary. Ours was awesome. So we're done with the main puffin viewing area, but now we get to walk along the northern edge of Mykines Island, where there's a few more puffins and this crazy trail just like with a cliff, very sheer cliff on that side, and these, I don't know how to describe it, just ghost-like cliff views in the distance.
It's a typical location where you could go bird hunting, for example, in the past. So people would have walked this way. And I've been down here once when I was about 12 years old. So I was down here walking while my dad was standing on top of the cliff holding me in a rope. Just telling me sort of to go on and pick up some eggs.
Oh my god.
Man, these cliffs just take your breath away, don't they?
Yum.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Boat's here. Oh my god, there are sheep in the road. They are unsure of which side of the road they want to be on. They're just right. They're very confused. You gotta pick one, my guys. All right. Thank you.
Looks like we're getting quite a bit of fog now.
Oh, nuts.
Oh my god, we're just gonna drive straight into a wall of fog. Not so scenic road anymore. Oh my god, that's thick fog.
It's just a wall. And it's done.
It's crazy how it can go as fast as it came on. So tonight we are back in the historic area of Tórshavn, and we are eating dinner at a restaurant that doesn't have a Michelin star, but its sister restaurant has a Michelin star. So I assume the level of food at this one is still going to be incredible.
A very good dinner. There was a 6-course tasting menu, which was the shorter of the two options. The other was 11.
But it was really, really good. And they even had really good gluten-free bread to go with the crab legs.
Yep.
So I'm a happy camper.
All seafood, we should clarify, is all seafood.
Yeah.
3 fish and like an urchin and a crab.
Yeah, wouldn't be good for people allergic to shellfish or like vegans or things like that.
You don't come to this island if you're vegan, honestly.
We just finished day 2 in the Faroe Islands. It was a very good day.
How could it not be, with puffins and a fantastic dinner?
Yes. We weren't eating puffins.
I don't think anyone thought we were.
Morning from day 3. So start off today, we're going to get on this ferry and head to yet another island.
We're going to Roadside. We'll just be there for a couple hours exploring and seeing what we can find.
Yes.
Maybe some puffins.
Might be more puffins.
Well,
we're obsessed. This thing that is an arch used to be the jawbone of a blue whale.
here, I'll get in for size reference. How many of me?
This morning, we saw this island, or at least the sea next to it, lit up by beams of sunlight. Now we're getting like rained on.
Pelted.
Yeah. This weather has turned. 2 minutes later, we see a rainbow, and the rain just magically stopped. Island weather. Birds are having an interesting time in the wind. It's like they're on a treadmill. We just continue to find ourselves asking, how is this place real?
It's all so stunning.
And for the first time all week, we can see the sun.
I think I need my sunglasses out. So unfortunately, we did not find any puffins. We didn't have time to do the other side of the island, so it's not that there aren't puffins on the island, but we couldn't find any today in the time we had. And now it's time for us to turn around, head back to town, head back to the ferry, because we got another part of the Faroe Islands to explore this afternoon.
Let me just try to give you an idea of the panorama that we get to experience this entire drive. Oh yeah. Yeah, this place is pretty cool. So we had a bit of a comedy of errors to start our hike. So we had parked up where the hike is, and then we decided we have to pee, and the nearest bathroom was back down here by the church. And then when we got back up, all the parking spots were full. So we had to go back down by the church, and I parked there, and now I'm walking back up to Jackie. She already said that one of the parking spots is now open again, but at this point I'm just gonna walk the rest of the way up. I've caught up to Jackie, and now we've started the hike in earnest. Very clearly marked trail is always appreciated. So we try to make up for lost time by tackling this like we're on a mission. We've only been on the trail 20 minutes, and we've already climbed about 650 feet. Here is what we've done. Oh yeah. Jackie's absolutely got the fire in her today. I'm impressed. Progress update. We've been on the trail 35 minutes. We've already climbed over 1,000 feet. Jackie is just absolutely crushing it.
Yeah, I am.
Very much woman on a mission vibes. She's out here to conquer the mountain. And she's winning.
Whoop!
I can edit that out. I won't, but I could.
I slipped right as you said I'm winning.
We've got a bit of clouds rolling in from the west. And that makes things just a little bit spooky. Just under the 1 hour mark, we've now clocked 1621 feet of vertical. We've slowed down a little bit, but Jackie is still hiking angry. Go get him. We are cutting it a little close on time, so we've decided to declare victory on the hike before we got to the tippy top, but the main view that we came for is right in front of us.
We have our favorite celebratory hiking snack, gummy candy.
Yeah, we've run the numbers. That's the best one.
You know, one thing I'm particularly proud of myself about this hike, even though we didn't have time to get all the way to the top, is that a week ago I was on the couch struggling with a lupus flare, and today I just crushed over 2,000 feet of elevation in about 75, 85 minutes. So I'm really, really proud of that, and just kind of, it's crazy what 1 week can do.
On our way back down, I would describe the descent as tricky. I'm just stuck in a hole.
Look how high we climbed. I know we didn't make it to the tippy top, but like really right to that last little ridge. So I'm really proud of what we did. And now we are so close to getting to sit down. Let's go.
Oh, look at that.
The best sight you could ask for after a hike. The car.
That's one spicy pepper and one Happy Jacks.
What better way to recover from a long and difficult hike than with a sauna cold plunge routine?
The changing room is a traditional building made of stone, and it is cold in here. I'm doing it.
How's the breathing coming?
Okay, your turn.
Well, if I don't do this now, I'm never gonna do it, so just like...
That was so lovely. I really, really enjoyed that sauna cold plunge combo. I love the float. We've never been on a floating sauna before, and you could definitely feel it rocking a little bit, but it was really, really fun. And now it's raining, and we just got out of the water, so we're gonna use our remaining heat to go get dry. Bye. So we are coming up on the world's first and only undersea roundabout. They've decorated it. To Tórshavn. I think I had 30 minutes to get ready and shower, and now we are off to dinner. We're going to Barbara Fish House, which is another multi-course meal. It should be delicious and super excited. And starving because it is 9 p.m.
Good morning from day 4. In typical Thomas and Jackie fashion, we have jam-packed our schedule with so much to do that we're very tired. But we have another full day ahead of us. We've got But we have another tour at 10 o'clock, so we don't have too much time to lounge about. So let's get ready to go out and have more fun.
We're in the tiny village of unpronounceable name.
I didn't catch the name.
I don't know.
I'll have to check Google Maps.
We're in a tiny village. It's kind of crazy that this village exists. It's like on the edge of a cliff. You got to get here through a ferry and like 3 tunnels. So the amount of infrastructure to make this place accessible at all is really impressive.
I like it. Do you approve of this waterfall?
Waterfall approved, yes. There's a pretty epic legend behind the seal woman statue. So the legend is that seals are people that took their own lives by throwing themselves in the water. And once every year, they would come up onto land, shed their seal skins, return to their human form, and basically have a party. And that one young man, seeing this happen, took a liking to one of the seal women, one in the statue, stole her skin so she couldn't return to the ocean as a seal, took her as his wife, and he kept her skin under lock and key until one day she escaped. And then she came to him in a dream the night before a seal hunt, told him to spare a particular bull and 2 pups that were her husband and children. But the man did not listen, killed the pups, and then she appeared to him and all the men of the village and saying that as her revenge, many men of the village would die by drowning at sea or by falling from cliffs until they could stretch arm in arm around the island. So as the legend goes, anytime a man from the village dies in such a way, it's part of the seal woman's revenge. Now we're starting our hike to the lake house. Our guide for this hike, who was also one of the farmers in that village we started to hike from, just told us a story about how they filmed James Bond. Basically, just gets an email from a producer saying, "Hey, I want to film a show here," and he doesn't find out until he's signed the contract that it's James Bond. They have to helicopter in all this stuff out here. He's lugging all this food up and down the valley, including a lot of tea for all the producers because they're all British, right? And they spent a long time shooting here for what ended up being 2 minutes and 11 seconds of time that actually made it into the movie, because some of the big scenes, including the one with Daniel Craig, were actually done with CGI. Now, real quick, there's a spoiler alert coming, so if you haven't seen the 2021 Bond film, No Time to Die, you have about 3 seconds to skip ahead to this timestamp. There's James Bond's tombstone. Yep, he's dead. So as you might imagine, from all the Faroese farmers and assistants and everything being on set, they had a pretty good idea from overhearing conversations and such that James Bond was going to die, but they weren't 100% sure exactly where or when. So they were really, really hoping that he would die in the Faroe Islands, that this would become just an iconic location. And so then when the moment in the film arrived when he did die at that exact spot where the gravestone was,
everyone in the back was actually standing up cheering. Very ironic.
We've conquered the lighthouse hike. The views here are incredible. Let me try to give you some idea of what we got.
Well worth the effort.
So it surprised us to learn that bird hunting is actually still a thing on these islands. Mykines only banned it in 2010, and after a little bit of a pause to let the numbers recover, they actually have resumed it on this island. And this requires some pretty insane, death-defying things, such as rappelling down from the top of that cliff to like the grassy areas where the birds are nesting to like go collect some birds. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's how the seal woman gets her revenge. Now out to the knife's edge cliff we go. It's just steep.
This ridge is starting to get like spicy.
Yeah, as soon as we got to here, a gust of wind just picked up.
And it's pouring rain now again.
Let's go conquer our fears.
Ooh, that gust of wind makes me so nervous. Ooh, well there's a cliff. We did it! This is scary. Especially because of how muddy and slippery it is. The Faroe Islands have their own Faroese currency that is paired 1-to-1 with the Danish kroner. So now we're at an ATM to see if it will give us Faroese cash or if it's just going to give us Danish kroner. So it has
It's got a fish on it.
fish on it.
That looks Faroese.
Oh, turn it over on the back, see what the back looks like.
Yeah, there you go. Amazing. That's Faroese.
How do you know that?
Well, first of all, Faroe means Faroe Islands.
Oh. Okay.
So we're on a one-ish lane road that is winding up this mountain. Our goal is this awesome gorge kind of town on the other side. Oh, look at the valley.
Wow.
Road trips through the Faroe Islands are wild.
This is the gorge that gives the town its name.
I know I've said this a lot this week, but this place rules.
We are off to our last dinner in the Faroe Islands. I'm so sad that this trip is coming to an end. However, all of our reservations have been 8 p.m. or later, which is way later than we normally eat dinner. But I'm really glad in the end that we did that because it's given us so much time to explore the islands every day, all the way, you know, maximizing daylight, maximizing our time here in the Faroe Islands. Cheers!
We just wrapped up day 4 with a delicious dinner. Probably our favorite of the trip.
But they were all really good, so it's hard to pick.
Yes, they were all very good. Now we're going to get a good night's sleep before our final day on the islands.
Night night.
Night night.
We've packed up from our hotel. We have a beautiful sunny day for our last day in the Faroes.
Hopefully it stays that way.
Yeah. So, ready for more adventure still to come today.
So yesterday we passed Fossa Waterfall from the other side of the fjord, and today we have come back to see it more up close. It is the highest waterfall in the Faroe Islands, and since it was raining so heavily yesterday, I think it's going to be really good. the things I absolutely love about the Faroe Islands is how few people are here, even during high season. So there were like a couple of extra people when we arrived, and now there is no one else here, and we have Fossa all to ourselves. It doesn't get better than this.
God damn it, Thomas, you're an idiot. So I was trying to just pass someone on these short roads, and I pulled over way to the side just to make sure I didn't hit them. I pulled over too far to the side, and the side of the road was not as high or supportive as I thought it was going to be, and so now the car is stuck.
Well, now we're walking to the next town up, which thankfully is just a few hundred more meters ahead of us, to try to see if we can get someone to help us with a tow or anything like that. But thankfully we have a little bit of service and can call a tow truck if we need to, but I'm gonna try this first, I guess. Very stressful. Not loving this. But damn, it's still beautiful.
Yep, there are worse places to mess up like this.
Here's the waterfall we were driving to see. I've zoomed in since we're not going to take the hike all the way to it, since we now have bigger problems.
Well, we struck out on finding help in the town. I think it's not helping that it's Sunday morning, so everything that would be open to the public is closed right now, and none of the cafeterias or anything like that is even marked on Google Maps, so it's hard to even know where we should be looking.
Yeah, this town is really just like a residential neighborhood, not anything public. Couldn't find any public cafes or, you know, libraries or public toilets even in this town.
So the next step is to call our rental car company and try to get help that way.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Yeah, don't go into the other one. Oh my God, thank you.
Thank you. That was the move. Just get help from people.
Don't forget the backpack. Oh my God, I can't believe we're back on the road. Oh my God, just roll the window down and say thank you again. But I think we're good. Thank you so much. Basically, when we got back to the car, another car stopped and tried to help us. It seemed like a couple of local people tried to help us, and then the four of us couldn't lift the car. But then another car with 4 people in it stopped, and the 7 people were able to push the car back onto the road while I turned the steering wheel and got it directionally back on the road. So very, very grateful to all the people who stopped. We sorted it all out, and now the car seems totally drivable, and we're back on our way. I have actually heard that gas station ice cream is like a thing here, and a lot of people go and try like all the different ones. So we did get one, and it is cheering me up from the whole car debacle.
We've concluded our roadside misadventure, and we've made it to the town of Saxon on the west coast of this island. It's got a lagoon that is fed by tide, so it'll be connected to the ocean at high tide and disconnected at low tide. So I'm going to check that out.
Not sure.
So you come for the lagoon and you stay for this epic waterfall situation coming out of the fog. Holy crap. We're still rattled, aren't we?
A little bit.
That's all right.
There are multiple big tourist buses here, which we really haven't seen anywhere else. I just don't know that it would be high on my list to come back to because it's kind of chaotic compared to so much of the Faroe Islands. It's like a really terrible game of Rush Hour with this single track road, cars trying to leave the parking lot, cars trying to enter the parking lot. It is chaos. Don't come to Saxon around the middle of the day. We're gonna follow this red car out of here.
Freedom!
Literally how? There's not enough road for everybody to pull up. Is area is definitely not designed to handle the amount of traffic it gets, especially with single track road. So this blue car back here is having to back up to the next pull-off point.
We've had a lot of misses this morning, but we are ending the trip on what should be a layup. Only thing that could possibly go wrong is the weather, but fingers crossed on that.
We can finally see the peak that is the end of the hike out in the distance.
Not covered in clouds, so the layup has become a slam dunk. Jackie, can you share with the people why you are basically running?
Well, for one thing, we are on a time crunch and have to get to the airport. For another thing, the weather changes here so quickly that I'm afraid if we don't take advantage of this clear sky, the fog will roll in and we won't be able to see anything from the top.
In the words of Jackie, danger, it's a cliff, don't die. You're looking for a two-word answer on what this cliff is missing.
Puffins? That's a one-word answer.
Yes, 2 words.
Via Ferrata.
That's the one.
That would be fun.
Last push to the top. Let's get an epic shot that might as well be presented to you by MC Escher.
You can see why they call it the hanging leg.
Oh yeah. Thank you, weather, for cooperating. Only thing that could get better is if it cancels our flight so we have to stay here forever.
I wouldn't be mad about that. What an amazing 5 days in the Faroe Islands. It is hard to even put into words how special this place feels. It is like a utopia. It's got this amazing, amazing landscapes everywhere you turn. Every fjord's a little bit different, and amazing cliffs, birds, all the really cool things. But then it's also this like really thriving economy and country with, you know, infrastructure and things like that. It's not just a remote deserted island. Like, there's culture and people who are very proud to be Faroese, and it was really great to get to experience both like the people and culture aspect as well as this breathtaking scenery. And it's definitely a place I feel like I need to go back to immediately, which I don't say very often for many trips.
Yeah, I feel that. So my weird childhood relation to this place is like, obviously, being into Thomas the Tank Engine as a child, it hit me pretty hard when I found out that the mythical island, I think it was like the island of Sodor or something like that, that all the trains were running on, does not actually exist. And somehow it feels like I recovered some of that loss coming here.
Feels like this is the island that Thomas the Tank Engine takes place on? That's cute.
Yes, we're back. Yeah.
That's really cute. But seriously, this place is so special. Can't even put it into words. And if this isn't on your bucket list to visit, put it on it immediately.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this whirlwind tour of the Faroe Islands, and we'll see you in the next video.
Bye. I just love it here so much. Well, that's not what you want. Ironically, in the one tunnel where we needed direction because there's the roundabout in here.
Okay, I thought my car was rolling away for a second, but it was the other car.
I also thought that.
I was so sure I parked it.
You should get a video of me. Oh, you are?
Beautiful.
Of course I'm in the front of the class. Have you met me?